Hey, what's going on, everybody? What a week. Let's see who we got in here tonight. Let's start it off. Josh, Pirates Cove, what's going on? The other Josh, thanks for joining up, man. Everybody take a look at Josh's badge. He's got our little buddy there. He's a member. Maybe the rest of you want to consider joining up the BW's Garage. Tony, what's going on? How you doing? Robbie's here. What's happening, Robbie? All right, man. Let's see who else we got in here. Yo, Forsaken Steel made it. Steve's here. Cool. Richard Sumner made it. What's going on, Richard? Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Give Blood made it. What's happening, brother? There's my buddy one somewhere around the 50-minute mark or something in there. I know you had to hear because I left the volume up. I was asking around about my Don Garlitz tack, but I was also looking for your outsider turn downs. Nobody had either, but we had a good day. If you watched that far, it was hard. I messed up, guys. I had a camera on my hat for the first time, and I thought that having it pointed down just a hair would make me see everything. But my eyes would go down to the stuff and it would take the camera too low in front of the table instead of at the product. So I took about 3 hours and was able to salvage about an hour. It's the best I could do, guys. I made a mistake. I should have checked on my phone. That was where I made the mistake. I didn't run it through the app on my phone so I could at least look and see how it was recording. But we did get some stuff, and you guys saw we got a few of the items we needed. One thing was waiting for us that we ordered. That was the quarter panel. The surprise was we were able to get the trunk pan, and we were able to find a trunk lid. So saved a bunch of money, no shipping. All right, let's get back up here and see what we got. All right. GOB, thanks for coming in, man. First time I think I saw that name here, is it? Have you been in with us before? Possibly. Thanks for coming in. Thumbs up to you too. Who else we got? Swamp Thing made it. What's going on? That was a rowdy sounding cam. What kind was that? Some kind of G body Swamp Thing? Yeah, that's a G body you were sitting in. Let's see. Mark from Hedgeville. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming in, brother. Paul White made it. What's going on? Thanks for coming, Paul. Appreciate it. Turlo's Garage is here. Cool. All right. So, guys, immediately following tonight's live, we have a little mini premiere. I just wanted to have a little something to reintroduce us to the Nova with the parts. So, it's only a 12-minute little thing where we walk around, look at the car, and what our next plans are on it. So, I encourage everybody to follow along over to the premiere immediately following our live tonight. That would be cool. All right. So, Andy's Doghouse made it. What's going on, Andy? Thanks for coming in. It might. I put that over there so everybody could look at it. It's the best I could do until we get it in the garage. Kim said no to hanging it in the living room. I thought it would look great up there, but she said no. So it's got to go to the garage, but I put it there for tonight. You guys can see I also got our gasser style helmet there. Let me bring that over and show you. I got the helmet. I don't know who didn't know, but I got the helmet from Iron Trap Garage over here on YouTube. They had a tent set up at Carlisle. I didn't really get a chance to talk to the main dude. I talked to his partner. But we were able to strike a deal. They had it marked for 125. They let me have it for $80. It's missing a rivet, it's a little rough, but that's what makes it so cool. It has this tape on there. I was talking to Kim about taking it off. It must be some kind of reflective tape. I decided to leave it on there for now. And it's so killer. It's like they sell reproductions of these, but it's not the same thing. This thing's all, weathered and it's like, and I'm going to try to find a set of race gloves, the old race gloves and goggles. And that way I can set it on the front seat at car shows, just to give the 55 that, that little extra, pizzazz. And I'll tell you guys what, when I get that Don Garlitz tack, and I will get it, Eventually, I'm going to find one and I'm going to get it. And I got a heartbreaking story to tell you guys about that in just a second. But I'm eventually going to get one, and it's going to match this helmet perfectly for the 55. All right. So on to my gut wrenching story. Okay, so you know, Kim and I backed off a lot of the stuff on the auction, and I should have kept on it. My thinking was I needed all the extra money I could get for Carlisle. So I told her, okay, we were at like $700 on the steering wheels. I said, back off of those. And they were worth the money. The two spokers were from the early Novas. There was two of those. Brand new, they're $450. You know, you guys know that. There was one three spoke for the Camaro. I don't think it was rosewood, it was walnut. It was at least $400 steering wheel. So, that was there, but those are brand new prices. And you guys know how it is when you're at a swap meet, you're going to lower the prices. So I just told her, I said, just back off that stuff. All right. I said, stay on the sign. I have to have that. And I got the headers, and I got those for a very nice deal. So I stayed on those. And I also got the pistons and the Winters Snowflake 50s, 58 through 61. You guys all saw it, the manifold. I sent that over to Don's Hot Rod Garage. Nobody else should have it. Don needs it for the 265, and I didn't make a penny on it. I told Don what the lot cost me, and Don set the price. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to make no money off of a fellow YouTuber. Just don't want to do it. Even money with that fellow, right? So I sent that over to him. So we were happy about that stuff. We got that. Now there was a box. It was called a mystery box. Now there was listen. First, you have to know there was a box. There was a lot that had a bunch of tacks in it. It had one of those, like the Pontiac ones that were on the outside of the hood. It had one of those. I saw a green line in there from Warner, and so there were some nice tacks in there. They were beat. They needed to be reconditioned. Don't get me wrong, but there was a box of tacks. I'm like, all right, Kim, stay on it. She stayed on it to around $500, and I told her to stop, and that's okay. But then there was another lot. Okay, it had two Keystone wheels. All right, with skinnies, and it had another set of the real deal slicks, the radar slicks, the not Coker reproductions. These were real deal slicks. You couldn't put them on anything. They were dry rotted, but they would have been great to hang on your wall or whatever. They were real radar slicks from back in the day. And with the winter tire, kind of recap look or whatever, but they were real. And there was a mystery box with those items. They just had it closed up, and it was fine. All right. So, I told Kim, I said, the Keystones are worth a little bit of money with the skinnies. And I think we stayed on it till like $600. And that was it. I said, that's it. Just get off of it. I need the money for Carlisle. We showed up to pick the stuff up. We won the headers, the pistons, all the things we won. We showed up to pick up. The kid who won the Keystones with the mystery box, him and his partner showed up when we showed up, and they were right in front of us. The kid brings out the mystery box. On top in the mystery box was a brand new OEM tissue dispenser for the early 50s GM cars. OEM from the deal. This was a dealership item. It was brand new. The box was weathered, but when he pulled it out, it was gorgeous. And right underneath that, I kid you guys not, I almost cried. He pulled out a Don Garlett's Stars and Stripes tack. It was beat up, just like that helmet. The needle was a little messed up, needed work. I mean, I almost welled up in tears. I offered the kid the Winters. He didn't know what it was, or he might have took the deal. That I offered him the manifold and pistons. He said no. I offered him the 781 heads. He said no. He didn't know what he had. He said, I want to put this on my car. And I mean, if I had known that, they called it the mystery box with this stuff. Had I known it was in there, I would have gone $1,000, $1,200, whatever. The tack itself was not top quality. It was maybe worth $300, but to recondition it would have been another $400 or $500. But I mean, I don't know what to tell you except all the wind came out of me. And then I got to listen to the mean Italian lady. I told you that you should have stayed on the bed on the way home. It's I felt terrible enough, and she was giving it to me a little bit more, rightfully so. I don't want to say I'm cheap. I'm thrifty. I knew I had a bunch of money to spend at the Carlisle, but could you guys believe that? I couldn't believe. I've been looking for one for over a year, and the kid pulls it out of the box. Oh, this is. He didn't even know. He's like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I'll put this on my car." I'm like, "Want to trade?" No, I I didn't have enough cash to offer him cash for me. I mean, I might have had $200 in my pocket, but I mean, I don't know. But that's a true story, and it was that was a little crazy. Yeah, well, one in the future. Next time I'll bid on the mystery box and it'll be full of junk, you know. When he pulled that, I could if it was, it should have been with the tax. I don't know that if the auction house knew what they were doing because if they knew what a Don Garlett Stars and Stripes tack they average. Now listen, they average $300 when they're beat up like that, all the way up to 500. Right now on eBay, this is not a tale. A guy has one listed on there and he wants $1,250. And he says 10% goes to charity. Dude, he bought that thing a couple months ago on eBay and he's trying to double his money and get you to pay for the charity. He says he had it reconditioned and it cost him 500 bucks. I know that tack because I bid on that tack. It has the same sticker from the same instrument company on there. I sent him an offer. I offered him 500 bucks. He sends me back an offer, 999 counter offer. So I sent him another one. I said, listen, 550. So he lowers it to 950. So I said 575 and I'm done. He just declined it and I ain't heard nothing since. So I reached out to Michael Garrett on Facebook because he has one, and I was like, "Look, you sold your gas, or would you think about selling me the tack?" And he's like, "I really want to keep it," but he did give me a name of a guy that has one, and I'm waiting to hear back from him. Somebody that's reasonable. And I'll tell you, I asked almost every tent there. One guy claims that, oh, I had one. I think he just wanted to see my reaction. I sold it a couple hours ago, one of those guys, but we'll keep looking. I have a feeling I'll be able to find one at Hershey, maybe. The helmet, the funny thing about the helmet, I owned that 10 minutes. I it was right before I went to pick up the trunk pan. I bought that and then went right over and saw the trunk pan and bought that. But right before I bought the trunk pan, a guy walked up to me and he said, "Oh, you just got that from the Iron Trap garage tent. Will you sell it to me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to. I just bought it. It's for my gasser." But, you know, such is life. He probably went and thought about it and was going back to get it. And just like me with the mystery box. You missed out. You snooze, you lose. And I snoozed a couple times. Hey, Henry, what's going on? Let me stop for a minute and make sure I acknowledge everybody that's in the room. All right, Desert Rat made it. What's going on, Mike? Thanks for coming in. Shop Cat's here. What's going on? Thanks for coming in, Shop Cat. Big Job Ford, my buddy Ron. Thanks for coming in, brother. I appreciate you, man. Who else we got in here? Spray Bomb Chronicles. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. All right, IG at Try Five Club. Thanks for coming in, man. He's got some cool videos, man, on some Try Five stuff. I've been over to check him out a couple times. Thanks for coming over, brother. Gordon Walker made it. What's going on, Gordon? Thanks for coming in, buddy. What else we got over here? Floyd made it. Hey, you're welcome, Floyd. I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? God bless you, brother. Get well, bud. Just know you're thought of well here, and we're praying for you, buddy, for a recovery, full recovery. Howie Mook, what's going on, Howie? Thanks for coming in, brother. All right, let's see. Kevin L made it. What's going on? He's back from his fishing trip. Let me see. He's driving. He's driving home from his fishing trip, and I got to be more considerate. I'm over here sipping on my adult beverage. I thought maybe you guys would like to sip on yours. All right, let's see here. All right. Henry. Yo, Country Boy Gas Garage is here. Thanks for coming over, Jason. I appreciate you, buddy. All right. Oh man, that would be great. GOB, you don't know. That will help the algorithm. I got this guy. I'm not mentioning any names. Every video I put out, every single one, immediate thumb down and 3 unsubscribes. So he either has 3 accounts or him and 2 of his family members. It kills me every time. I don't really care. I'm doing the best I can, man. And you're not going to please everybody. But some people live in making other people miserable. I'm not going to be miserable. I don't care. Eventually, maybe they'll get bored and go away. I don't know. If not, keep going. I don't care. All right, let's see. John S., what's going on? Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate you. Have a sip. Oh, well, you guys, I was almost late for my own live tonight. I got this little old lady neighbor, and she's the sweetest thing. She's 90, and she's just lonely. She never married. Her sister died about 2 years ago. They were roommates for 50 years, 60 years, whatever, for her whole life, I guess. Her brother just passed away. She's got nephews and a niece, so they come. They do grocery in for her and stuff like that. But the days there's 24 hours in a day. They might stop by and spend 2 hours a week. So she calls almost, well, I wouldn't say not every night, huh, Kim, but 3 times a week she calls with some excuse just to get me to go over there for a minute. And she did it tonight. And it's like, hon, I can't stay. I have to. It was to look for a battery on the floor that she kicked or something in the kitchen. And I felt bad that I couldn't stick around. I could only stay 10 minutes. I'm like, listen, I got to go get a shower. I got a live I already scheduled. And she doesn't understand internet, but she understood the best she could. But I disappointed, and I hate doing that. It's like last week I'm on the phone with our buddy. You guys know Poor Possum. I'm on the phone with Rick, and we're just gabbing back and forth for like an hour. And in that hour, she probably called 3 times on the house phone. And I'm like, finally, and I felt bad because me and Rick were in the middle of a conversation. I'm like, Rick, I gotta go. He's like, what's up? What do you got to go? I said, dude. He's like, all right, go take care. You know what I mean? But it's like it's every I don't know. I do the best I can to be a nice person. Oh. Yeah, yeah. 90-year-old girlfriend. I gotta I don't want to talk about myself, but I do have a good heart. I try. And it's like I know she's just over in that house with that little dog and nothing else all day. It would drive you insane. You gotta have human contact, human interaction. So I do the best I can. But I can't beat her every second. Stop it. Don't be talking like that. Right after at 9:30 there's a premiere. I'll go through that again in a minute. All right, let's see. Now, after we got through the auction, we talked about the auction stuff pretty intake over to our buddy at Don's Hot Rod Garage. And hey, listen, those things are very desirable. If you look on the internet, they range anywhere 350, $500, whatever. But like I said, I give it to them at cost. And they're for the old vets, and I guess they ran them to death. It's like, what would they call them? They were like the 270 horsepower. That was huge back in the day. So I'll let him tell you the history on them things, because I'm just learning about them. I knew they existed, but whenever Don was talking about his 265 build, he was talking about getting one of those, and it was like exciting. I thought I knew what it was, but when you're only looking at pictures, because they only have they used to be a live auction, and it was so much fun. You could go up and look at the stuff and then get ready to bid on it. Nowadays it's all online. It's pictures. There was no over top picture where you could get a good picture of the number to run the number to make sure what it was. But anyway, here or there, we got that. We sent that off to Don. The heads I traded. I put them up for sale, and I put the pistons for sale on Marketplace because I mean the pistons were 40 over 350 pistons. A real nice set's like 500. They were middle range, maybe 300 best or something. I sold them for $100. Same guy that I traded the heads with. He's like, "Well, I might want your heads too. I just might need a couple weeks." And then he shows me these Keystone. Or not, excuse me, not Keystone. He shows me these radar rims. Well, radar, they're real radar. You flip them over, they got the radar. There's off beat. These are real radars, and they're $340 each. Anybody that don't know, they're $340 each for rims. So he got a nice. I got the heads at a great deal, so I had a lot of wiggle room, and the value I guess of the heads might have been a little more, but I also got the adapters because the whole pattern on those rims are 5.5. That's like what the old Ford, I guess, back in the 40s, before they had the 9-inch, before there was a 12-inch Chevy, before all that. That the hot rodders all used the 5.5 spacing rims. I think Dodge and maybe like Kia and some crazy brands nowadays might use them, but it's an old pattern. So I got the right adapters to 4 3/4, which should fit right on the Nova. We're gonna take a look, and if I don't like them on the Nova, and my 55 is a little squirrely, I might get a because they're a 15/6 rim, so I could put like a bigger tire on the front if the front of the gasser's a little squirrely with them little 4.5 inches for for street driving. It might be smart to get a set of radials for the front. We'll see. Like I said, I got wiggle room there. And if I decide I don't want them, I'll sell them. I'll polish them up and I'll sell them. No big deal. They're radars. They will sell. So we was able to trade that. I think I got $100 for the Pistons. I don't know if I told you guys that. I guess I did. All right. So we got that covered. Onward and upward. On to Carlisle. I got up about 6:20 in the morning, and I had to go do a blood draw. Look at that. Look at that bruise that lady left on me. And look at the kill. I got killer veins. And look, she still left a nasty bruise on there. But you guys all go through the same stuff. I had to go do my blood draw. So I got that done. Came right back home. Got breakfast. Talked to Kim for a little bit and hit the road. What would you say, Kim? Around 8 o'clock? I hit the road about 8 o'clock. And it's it was about a 2 hour and 8 minute ride, but with me speeding I got there just at 2 hours. And I was at 10 o'clock and I had a blast right up to I just started. Like I said, aside from my messed up camera angles, I was having fun. I was talking to people, joking around with people, and just walking around having a blast. And it was supposed to be nice all day. That's why I plan Thursday's a good day. I'll go Thursday. All the people in the mad brush are gone because I one time I can lose my cool at swap meets, and I hate worse than anything when you're standing in front of something, looking at something, and somebody walks right in front of you and bends down and they're reaching into the boxes. And that always happens day one. And rather than just like trout fishing, I won't ever trout fish it because I'll end up getting upset. I don't want to go to jail. So I figured day two, the weather's going to be perfect. Great. Let's go have some fun. And it was until the sky opened up and it rained. And when it rains at a swap meet, you guys know the vendors, they got to take care of the merchandise. They put tarps over everything. So now you can't see anything. So you have to wait till it eases up. Then they'll peel the tarps back, put them right back over. So that was kind of a bummer. We did what we had to do. We got what we got. But I was able to get enough walking around and meeting enough people. The J&W, I think it's JW Nova parts right there in Virginia. I went to their tent. They had a lid, great trunk lid. Perfect. You guys see that though? I pulled it out of the box. That's not their fault. It was packed. It was stapled. I pulled it out of the box, and the corner of it was rusted. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, you didn't see that yet. Pretend I didn't say that. That's in the premiere. But it's neither here nor there. Okay, but anyway, you'll see. So I had a good time talking to those people for a little bit. You know, they hooked me up. I from a smaller dealer, I got the trunk pan. You guys saw that. Got the helmet from the Iron Trap. You guys saw that. What else? Lots of neat tacks there. There was one tack, you know, I'm not settling. I'm getting the Don Garlits, but there was one tack I was tempted to buy, an impulse buy was the green line from Borg Warner. They're very expensive. They're like $300 tax, but the guy had it marked for a buck 25. He doesn't know if it works. I don't know if it works, so no. And then maybe you guys know. I saw this instrument from Sun Tack Company. It was one, uh, I guess, 4-inch diameter. It looked like a tack, same body, same cup. But instead of a tachometer, it had a temperature gauge, an alternator gauge, and an oil gauge all in one. But it was kind of delicate, and the oil was all the way over to like 90 pounds. The other two needles were this way. That one was like it was flipped over, like it got juggled around. So I figured, man, that would be too delicate for the gasser. The way the gasser's going to bounce around and stuff. But I was tempted. It was 80 bucks. Those were impulse buys. I allowed myself one, and it was the helmet. I strictly stuck to my guns. If it wasn't what I wanted, I wasn't buying it. But believe me, there was several times whenever I wanted the money to fly out of my I'm very disciplined when I'm at them things. I still got a bunch of stuff I got to get for the Nova. I still got a bunch of stuff I got to get for the gasser. One booth I was very upset with myself for not going back to, and I said I was going to. And I because one of the reasons was the rain. It was the flaring uh, booth. They had brake line and they had fuel line and they had the flaring tools. I was very interested. I was going to go back there and I was going to get stuff for our fuel line and get that going. And I just didn't get back there. It was like with everything going on, I couldn't even find Jay's tent. And the guys at the Cars Inc. where I got the quarter panel pulled their book out and they're like, "Yeah, he's over in I aisle." I walked up and down I aisle. I could not find him. I don't know why, but I was specifically looking for Tri Five parts too. You know, so I don't know why. All right, let's take a look and see, make sure, go back in and make sure we're not missing anybody. Chopper Mike MC, what's going on, man? Let me see who else we got that we didn't say hello to yet. Now let's go back down through here. Gasser Dave made it. Junkers Clunkers is here. Harry Cartel's here. What's going on, Harry? Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks. Yeah, we didn't do too bad. We did okay. Gorney made it. What's going on, Gorney? Very cool. Hey, Mr. Be Real. Thanks for coming in, Grady. All right. I, I get the babbling on and I got to stop every couple minutes and see what you guys are talking about. Oh, man. Where the hell was I? Yeah, I couldn't find Jay. I couldn't find his tent. And I, I don't know why. I was supposed to meet up with. There was a guy I friends with on Facebook. I never met him, Danny Hutchinson. He's got Tri Fives. He's down there in Virginia. They're there for a few days. We were going to meet up and catch some lunch or something and say hello. I didn't even get a chance to say hello to him. And it's like, you know, the fairground people are pretty cool. They have golf carts. They drive around. You make a call. They come over and they'll help you haul your parts out, but they can't cross the street. And like they took me out the gate too, and the guy even drove all the way up to the main street. And he's like, "Dude, I just can't cross the street." And I'm like, "It's 2 blocks. I had to by myself carry the quarter 2 blocks, a little more than 2 blocks." Throw it in the back of the car, come back, get the floor pan, drive, walk it back, then come back and get the trunk lid and walk it back. That was a workout, man. Hey, Jerry Carr, thanks for coming in. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Very cool, man. Hang out. We'll finish up together. I'm slow as molasses, but I'm getting there, man. Yo, Dan made it. What's going on, man? That's all right, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Chevy Shane, what's going on? Hey, Rick, I was just talking about you. Right before my live. Come on, Rick. The lady called again. I was telling them that you and me, when we were rapping back and forth on the phone last week, and she called like 3 times while we were on the phone. I finally had to stop our conversation. Well, she was calling again tonight, like a half hour before I'm going live, and I hadn't even showered. Oh man. I just got a notification from my own premiere at 9:30. Make sure you're not late. Oh, you know what? Let me see. You're still in here, MC Mike. Are you still in here? I want to show you. I was at the show, and I meant to text you too. I texted Dan, and the seats were outrageously priced, and I think they're on. Think I got a couple on text message to Dan. I'll show you. This 57 seat, $1,100, Mike. $1,100, and they had a 55 seat too. I want to show you that. Now this one was a little more reasonably priced. It was still a little outrageous, but $550. These were front seats though. You needed a back seat. There was 2 or 3 seat backs at the Carlisle too. They were about the same shape of the one you got, but I mean, I want to say the seats are outrageous right now. They're insane. I know they are nuts, dude. Some people are like they put those prices, and those are the moon prices, Dan. I mean, if you showed a guy like, and it's to me, it's still too high. But if you showed that guy $800 for that 57 seat, he might take it. But that old station wagon seat, let me see if I can pull that one up. That old station wagon seat, you could shoehorn something like that right in there. You get something like that, out of old state. Look at what's that? An Oldsmobile? Is that what those center parts are on that seat? I think that's an Oldsmobile. Maybe it's a Ford. I don't know, but for some reason Oldsmobile. But that looks like that would shoehorn right into a 57. Relocate the holes. Well, see, the one the one I just showed you, they wanted $1,100, Mike. $1,100. They're crazy, man. It's like for the Nova, uh oh, Kim keeps me on topic. I'm sorry. I got to stop for a second. We'll get right back to them crazy prices. I have to do our little giveaways. Oh, because we promise them every week. The first ones we're going to do is the peel clear with our little buddy Phil. All right. Let me pull up our generator. All right. Ooh. All right, guys. For the peel clear BW garage and the fill sticker, give me a number between 1 and 30. 1 and 30. Go. Torp got it. Torp. Torp. Oh, that was pretty quick. Torp, you're the winner, buddy. 13. All right. But if you didn't win, don't worry. You still have a chance for a fill and a peel white BW garage. A fill and a peel white. Let me bring up the number. All right. Okay. I need a number between 1 and 30 for the peel white and the fill sticker. Go. Come on, guys. I'm gonna have to give a clue pretty soon. Yeah, there you go, Kim. It's a single digit. There it is. Daniel. Daniel. Daniel got it. All right, Daniel. Daniel was the very first, and right after him came another one. But Daniel, you guessed number 7 first. Do I have your address? I know I have Torps. Do I have your address, Daniel? I think I might. I'm not sure. Do I have your address already, Daniel? Let me see. All right, Daniel, I can't remember if I have your address or not. Uh, in the event I don't, you're going to have to email. Okay, we don't have Daniel's address, so Kim's pretty good on that stuff. All right, Daniel, email me your address. You can email it to jedclamp32 at yahoo.com or jedclamp32 at gmail.com. They both link directly to my phone, and I'll be able to mail those stickers right out to you. Plus, you'll be in our address book and on our Christmas card list. How's that? All right. That was fun as always. Now back to these crazy, insane prices that the thing. These people. I was walking out with a guy, and he was venting to me. I'm carrying. I got. I swear, I got the quarter panel. And you guys that do cars, you know, I had the Nova quarter panel. It was not a skin. It was a quarter panel in the big quarter panel box. I have it on my shoulder, and I'm walking down the street, and this guy's blowing his stack to me. We're walking together because he's like he was trying to buy a clutch and a brake pedal set. And he was telling me, he goes, the guy wanted $20 more than I can get a brand new one from Summit. I don't care if it's original or not. He goes, I'm going to buy the one from Summit. It's brand new. Screw that guy. I mean, he was mad, legitimately so, because some of these guys had insane prices and they weren't moving. But some people are more, you know, I don't know if it's how you approach people or who you're talking to. It's like, I went to the Iron Trap and I'm like, look, man, he had 125 on the helmet. I'm like, he's how I said, help a fellow YouTuber out, $80. He's like, is that mine or you? And they were back and forth of who's it belonged to, him or his partner. He's like, I guess it's mine. Okay, $80. That was cool. It was my only impulse buy, and it was from them guys. They got some pretty cool content. They get lucky, man. They were in West Virginia. I don't know if any of you guys watch Iron Trap, and they got a whole barn of OEM parts from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And we're talking NOS panels. We're not talking repops. We're talking the person was eccentric. It was like he bought up everything. It's like he had panels, and these weren't repops. These were NOS. It's like where did he get all this stuff? But it's go check out a couple of them videos. They got everything. Unfortunately, they didn't have any Nova stuff. I mean, he said he had I think they had one quarter panel. Somebody on the staff has a Nova, so they took it. I don't know, something like that. Hey, LNC, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming in. It is, Dan. It is. He's got his act together, man. Exactly. One, if they got a reasonable price, I'll give them what they're asking. But some people, I looked at that helmet like, I don't have to have it. Up here's $80, and he took it. But I'll haggle with people when I feel it's necessary. But on the quarter panel, they told me in advance on the quarter panel. They're like, look, right now they're going for $405, and that's it. We're not, that's what it is. I'm like, okay. The lady, you guys watch the J&W, she hit me over the head with the trunk, and I didn't think the trunk lid was too bad for 279. I really didn't for a full trunk lid. I felt like that was okay. The trunk pan, $80. How can you say no to that? I bought these. I'm gonna wait and let you guys watch the premiere thing. But I got some stuff from Jegs. It was crap, and it cost 90. It cost more than the guy charged me for the trunk pan for the Nova. But hey, we're slowly but surely getting all the pieces. I got to start putting some of them on. The weather just started to break, so I feel like this week I'll at least get the passenger side floor in, and I can get that mostly all pour 15 because that thing. That one corner, I know I showed you guys before, that one corner on the driver's side where the guy, I know he just puttied over rust holes and the water's coming straight in. So I'm going to have my buddy come over and pop the windshield so I can fix the channel with on the windshield on the driver's side. I know that's coming, but I'm going to do what I can do for now. So that's it. What else we got? Oh yeah, I decided I made these. Phil from Chop Shop Phil, he dropped off a little roll of rubber and stopped by the shop. I guess it was about two weeks ago, and I wasn't really thinking about it, but I thought, okay, maybe I'll make a boot for my clutch, my master cylinder for the clutch. I'm like, kind of like a little rubber boot and just kind of like seam seal around it. It'll be good. And I'm going to do that. But I'm like, why can't I do it around the struts for the roll bar? And man, I did the one on the driver's side. Man, it come out nice. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put rubber boots around there and put a seam seal around the bottom, and it'll just keep the. How much am I? I'm not going to drive the thing in the rain anyway. And when I'm dead, do what you want. I don't care. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stress out, and I don't want metal on metal squeaking, man. So I'm going to go with rubber boots. If you don't like it, too bad. That's what I'm doing. Somebody's going to give me a mean thing, and right, you're not supposed to do that. Well, I'm doing it. Somebody, there, have a sip of a beer or something. Calm down. Yo, Robert made it. Robert from RNG Garage. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I appreciate it. Frank's Garage is here. You made it, Frank. You're able to break away from the neighbors. Thanks for stopping by, man. Oh, man. You guys crack me up. You got to have them once in a while. I took the week off, and I feel great. I mean, I had a lot to do. You'd think I'd have got a bunch of car content done. I got a little bit, but not a bunch. I got my yard stuff straightened out. We got like a brick walkway around our back sun porch. And I put it in like 10 years ago. And I don't know if any of you guys do any hardscaping, but there ain't caulk worth a crap. That glue caulk they got, that landscaping, it ain't worth crap, man. Now for the upper bricks, it's fine because you're like three rows up. But when you're on the bottom brick for like a step going around, what happens is the brick's wet all the time from the rain because it sucks the rain up. Well, when wintertime comes, just the slightest inclination of moisture under there, it swells and it pops and breaks them every year. And it was just a mess over there. So I guess I spent 2 days on that getting the hardscaping back up to snuff. And I didn't put the glue on this time. I scraped it off and I put mortar. It's probably going to pop as well, but I'm going to try. I just wanted to try something different. The glue wasn't working. So I tried mortar. We'll see how that does. There's a couple that broke right away, but it was because I was wiggling around and stepped on them too soon. So I got to fix those. But yeah, I had to get that done. I had to relocate our bird feeder. A couple other things. I just a bunch of crap. You guys don't want to talk about landscaping, but it was huge for me to get it done because all I got left is to power wash the gazebo and front porch and put some flowers in the flower bed, and I'm done for the year. Just cut the grass. So I need to get all that stuff done because I do have those. I got a bunch of house juggling coming up. My son's going to be wanting to move down there to that Ridley house we were working on, and I got to get him out of my house so I can. And I got to put flashing on the front, throw some paint on it, and get it on the market and get it sold as fast as I can. Now, I got to put probably about 2 weeks, maybe 3. In getting my son's house ready, the upstairs. I still have to drywall the hallway, fix that, and then I gotta put the floor in. and molding and closet doors. 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops. So I got that coming up. But we're still going to do car content. Don't get me wrong. I just ain't going to be able to work on the cars every night after work. I might have to, maybe just one or two nights after work, and maybe a half a day on the weekend. Maybe get video or two out. But hey, man, right now that house around the corner, I get that sold. That pays the bills. When YouTube starts paying my bills, I'll make them the number one priority. And until then, a video a week might be all you get while I'm doing this house juggling and our lives. We're not gonna stop doing lives. Have a sip, man. So we got that coming up. Let's see what else we got going on. So just so you guys know, when I was at the car lot, I always got I got my projects on my brain, and I got my stuff. You guys saw. I got my pieces of sheet metal. I got myself a cute little helmet for my shows, my car shows. Yeah, but I was looking out for everybody else. It's like, I know, just give Dan an idea. Yeah, there's seats down here, but look how much they cost. One's looking for some outsider turn downs. I looked for those. A couple other people were looking stuff. I looked for those. Because I watch all you guys, so I know what you're looking for too. So it's like my brain just works that way. It's like I watch, just like I saw that manifold for Don. I knew he was looking for it. I mean, they're cool. I know what what they go for. It's like, hey, that's other. I can't help it. It's like I'm immersed in you guys' projects as much as my own, sometimes more. Because I'm at work, man. Shoot. Dan's my savior at work. He's my lunchtime. he usually puts it out right around 11. Unless I'm late for lunch, I'm usually right on top of it. Sheetrock. That house was all plaster, Frank. And skim coated a lot of the walls in that house. I did, but some of them, it's so old, and it wasn't put up correctly when it was put up, and kids have lived there, and throwing each other against walls, that it's all loose. So I had to knock a bunch of it down, shim it out, put a sheetrock on there, and then skim up over it to make it match. In the hallway, I've got to do that a little bit. A couple of the ceilings I just had to replace. They were just too far gone. It was a lot of work, man. We're almost done though. It's like I had to stop when my brother-in-law's house burnt down. The in-laws, they got the in-law quarters over there. It didn't burn down, but the smoke damage. But my in-laws needed somewhere to go. My father-in-law, his father built that house, and then when his mother finally passed away, he got the house, and he rented it for, I don't know, what was it, 25 years. And finally, the last tenants moved out, and he gave it to Kim, and Kim gave it to Jonathan, and our son. And Jonathan just had to get a mortgage, to get the money to fix the house. I fronted him the money to fix the house, but he had to get a mortgage to pay me back. I can't float that kind of bread, for a little bit. So he got that, but I can't put him in the house and it's not ready. So I got to finish up. As soon as my in-laws move back into their in-law quarters over there, I got to go down there and get going. Because the sooner I get that done, the sooner he gets the heck out of my house. You see what I'm talking about? And when he gets out of my house, I can get that sold. My life's hectic. It should be getting easier. It isn't. It's supposed to get easier as you get older. It's just more hectic. Yeah, they're pretty nuts. Kim and I actually, Dan, we went and looked at a house. I guess it was it Monday or Tuesday, Kim? This whole week has been a blur. We went over and looked at a house. It had a swimming pool, 4 acres. The house was recently done, and they wanted $865,000 for this house. And there was no pole barn, there was no garage. There was actually an old garage that they were using for a pool house. I looked in the window. I could put the car in there temporarily while I had a pole barn erected because, like I said, it had 4.5 acres, so we could have threw a pole barn up, no problem. The problem was the price. It's like 865. It's like a year and a half ago, that house was five and a quarter. You know, and another problem is the township it's in. It was in Glen Mills Township. There was the taxes. The yearly taxes were at 93, almost $9,400, and these people are right on top of the house market. And that 9,400 was at the 450, $500,000 price range for the house. As soon as that house sells for what they're asking, if they ask for it, I guarantee you the borough will raise the taxes on that house in excess of $12,000 a year. And that is not an exaggeration. All right. And they're right on top of it. And it's one, and there's no services. Like here, I between this house and the house around the corner, Kim and I are like at, I don't know, 6,500. We get trash service. We got a township police department. We got a firehouse that's voluntary, but we have all these services. Over there, there's none of that. You don't have a police service. They use the state police. They don't have their own postal service. The post office, they're always complaining about that. I think it's for Marcus Hook that they use, or Lower Chai, and they're upset about that. They're like, well, because they're uppity, they pay all this money, and it's like, but they don't have anything. It's like it all goes to the school, and their school, it used to be really good. It's not as good as it used to be. So I guess if you're willing to pay before you even spend $1 on your food, you're giving them over $1,000 a month in taxes. So, Kim's like, nah, forget it, no way. And you get blindsided with that. It's like people look, it's like, okay, I could swing 9,000 in their head, and then they move in and they come right at them. No, no, no. The house was just reassessed. It's now worth 865,000. That puts your millage here. So you go us 12,000. That's how they operate. And it goes up every year. They're crazy over there. So yeah. House market's crazy. Yes, Dan. The good news on that front, I should be able to do pretty good on the house around the corner, but they're going to hit me on a capital gains with that. I'm hoping I'm going to talk to my tax person because I'm hoping what I'm going to do with that money. I think if you reinvest it in real estate right after you sell, I don't think you get hit with the capital gains tax because as long as you roll it into the next asset, I think. I got to look into that because I'm just going to buy a property. I'm just going to take that money and buy a property, and we can talk about, putting something on it in the near future. It's it's the best I can think to do with it. There's a couple good properties for sale. Kim wants a barn dominium. There's a chance we can have one. But, it's all going to come down to what you're allowed to build and wherever you buy. It's one of those things you got to look into it. We'll see. Oh, Michigan Muscle Cars here. What's going on, Herb? Thanks for coming in, dude. Yeah, it is nuts, Dan. I can't stomach it, man. I mean, I couldn't. Affording and stomaching her. It's like, look how much you could do with that money. It's crazy. And it's like they still operate under the old adage, like it's like from the 1700s kind of thing. It's like the landowners or the land barons or whatever, they're the people with the money. But that's not the case anymore. It's like you got like somebody, and it's all school taxes. It's for these insane these teacher unions got these boroughs by the short hairs, man. It's like, think about it. It's like they want in excess of $100,000 a year. I'm not saying they're not worth it, but then they want these pensions that just don't exist anymore. All right, the regular working people. I remember back in the '70s and stuff. That was their battle cry. We want the same thing the private sector worker has. Now the public sector has better retirement packages than the private sector's gone. It's all 401k, and if your 401k craps out, you ain't got nothing to retire on. There is no such thing as pensions anymore. And these teachers are getting pensions with excess of $7,000-8,000 a month. It's insane. That's where all the money's going. And it's like people can't afford it anymore. People are pulling their kids out of schools now and putting them in private schools. I don't have the answer, but I could tell you the people that own property are not the people with money anymore. They're barely keeping their head above water. But yes, it's insane. Yeah. Texas used to be the place, man. My father moved there back in the 80s. It was the spot. Now it's insane. And what it is, listen, around here, there's no houses on the market, very few. They pop up here and there. So I know when we list that one around the corner, it's going to go quick. My job is to make it look as good as I can before that so that we get as much as we can. But there's no houses on the market. And the reason why, people in this area are from New York are moving down here. They can't between the crime and the taxes there, down here the taxes are better than up there. And truth be told, they can get on a train and ride the train up to New York to go to work every day. It's less than an hour train ride, about an hour train ride. So they're all escaping from New York to come down here. And for Texas, their people are leaving California, same reasons. I mean, Kim and I lived on this street, and we lived in Alameda, California, back in the 90s. And we rented a place on the street called San Jose. And I think, what was our rent, Kim? Back then, it was like $900 a month. It was a 4 unit apartment, and the lady was decent and stuff. Well, we looked out of curiosity just about a year and a half, 2 years ago. A house directly across the street. We knew the house. A house directly across the street was on the market for $1.1 million. And that's California. It's like the house, there was nothing to write home about. It's not worth $1 million, but because of where it is, that's the price. It's like it's insane. So people are escaping California and they're going to places like Nevada, Arizona. Texas is a huge one. Texas, I mean, Texas has the infrastructure. Like they got Dallas, Fort Worth. So all these firms can move down there and save money. I mean, um, my company had a mill out in California. They closed it down just because the operating costs were insane. I think that's why. I don't know. I mean, it would appear whenever the axe came out and they cut a couple mills, we were scared for ours for a while. But it turned out all these high overhead places in California is it. I mean, they're crazy. I don't know where they think people are getting all this money, but they don't have it. I mean, there's your answer there. I mean, so these all these companies and firms are moving to Texas, and people are moving, they're fleeing, you know, and they can't pay it. There it is. All I remember, a few years ago, it was like Tennessee and Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, Carolina. People around here would, when they retired, they'd move down there. Well, all those prices are creeping up now, and everybody's moving, and where everybody moves, the taxes just shoot right up. You can't escape them; they follow you. Well, Kim alerted me that I better wrap it up, and then she's right because we're at 58 minutes and we're having a premiere, and I invite everybody to come over to the premiere at 9:30. It's supposed to, I don't know if it will, but it's supposed to like redirect everybody from the room to the premiere. It's just a little 12-minute video. It's just an update on the Nova. I'm kind of like walking it around and just showing you the parts. So if you guys would come on over and join us over there. All right. As always, I appreciate everybody coming in. I had a blast talking to everybody tonight. I probably rambled on a little bit more about taxes than I should have, but I get a little upset about that. All right. All right. So yeah. One Gorney, Swamp Thing, Josh, Chopper Mike, Turlo's Garage, Country Boy Gas Garage, Josh, Tony. Thanks everybody for coming in. Floyd, Robbie, all you guys, man. GOB, everybody, thanks for coming in. So I'm going to head off of here and I'm going to head right over to the premiere. And I hope you guys come over and join us if you can. All right. So until next week or until the next 2 minutes, I want everybody to take care.